Hello, friends, and welcome to your Carb Cycling for Runners training. I am super duper pumped to get rolling with you all today and chat about what it looks like to carb cycle as a runner and why a runner should even consider carb cycling. I know that this word can feel kind of like a weird fad diet kind of thing, and I definitely want to break down those barriers, allow you all to ask some great questions, and share with you how you can start implementing this awesome lifestyle into your routine. Which one of these people sounds kind of like you? Are you the number one runner that you've struggled with weight gain while you're running? You're just feeling frustrated. You're running hard, you're working hard, but the weight gain just keeps coming on even though you're putting in more and more miles. That's you. I'd love for you to share one in the comments. 2, are you that runner who's overtrained and burnt out? You've put in the hard miles and you're kind of sick of running. Maybe you were in love with it at one point, but have kind of fallen out and you're just kind of in a season where your running isn't going as well as you'd hope. So if that's you, put in the comments that number 2 runner. Or are you the number 3 runner? Do you need some variety in your nutrition and your running routine? Maybe you just need to shake it up a little bit. You're kind of bored with the way things are and you need some new strength training, some new recipe ideas, things like that. Or are you the number 4 runner? Are you wanting to run that fall race PR and be at your ideal body mass so you can run super fast and awesome? Would love to hear which one of these runners you are, friends. Oh, love it. We've got some number 1s and 3s. Love that honesty there. Yeah, and I have just been literally in all of these places, just struggled with literally every single one of these things. And I'm going to share that with you all so you can definitely feel that sense of relating and knowing that this is totally normal to go through all of these things as a runner. So love seeing you share your numbers. Please continue to let me know and share which one of these runners is you. I do also want to remind you guys to stay on till the end because I have a super awesome bonus for you, friends. I love thinking of my journey to becoming a runner, and many of you might be kind of nostalgic when you think of how you became a runner. I became a runner my junior year of high school, and I remember it so clearly. I was at long jump practice, and this person walks up to me. His name was Tim Atkinson, and he said, "I would love to have you join the cross country team next fall." Now, just to give you some perspective, I'm at track practice. I'm a long jumper. I have never run more than a mile in my life. In fact, funny story, when I was in middle school track, my coach basically forced me to run the 1200 in a distance medley, and I cried the entire time. So anyone else been in a situation like that where you were maybe in middle school or high school running and it was just the worst? I would love to hear your stories in the comments, but I was not a runner. I was a cheerleader. I was really good at, the tumbling and the toe touches and jumping. That was more my style. So when this person approached me, I thought that he was crazy. And I told him no. But there was something about the vision and mission that he had and his strategy of how to train the correct way as a runner. Because to me, I thought running was just going out, running as hard as you can until you die and then doing it again, which sounds miserable, right? But there was something about his racing strategy and training strategy that was very intriguing to me. He shared about going to cross-country camp and building team unity. He shared about slowly building summer miles and how the first day I'd run, I'd only go a half mile. It was kind of intriguing. So long story short, he kind of talked me into it, and I decided to show up to that first day of cross-country camp, and I never looked back since. So I can see that some of you guys have some of these awesome stories as well. Love that from Jess. She said she could never even run a mile in school. She would cry while walking and jogging because she couldn't breathe. Yes, Jess, that is me too. And I'm sure that's going to be a lot of other runners who are on here as well. But my view of running was very, very tainted. I was not about to join the team on my own until I was approached and taught this different strategy. And let me tell you what, I joined and have not looked back since. I started as a mediocre long jumper in high school, nothing super special about me. And in the end, I got to become an all-Ohio athlete thanks to this coach. He had great mission and vision. He took our team, the team that was going to be canceled at our high school. We had 25 runners my junior year, 35 runners my senior year. We were able to be league, district, and regional champions, and I was able to run at the state meet for cross country and was able to be an all-Ohio athlete as our 4x8 team placed 8th on the podium in track. Now, that's a huge transformation in a short period of time. So as you can maybe understand, I was hooked to the sport and I needed to know more and more about it. And I needed to tell everyone I possibly could how awesome this sport was, because it was more than just running awesome times. I just felt like a new person. I had a couple rough things I was going through in high school, as maybe some of you may experience in your family lives, or just having to make big decisions going into that new transition of college. And running was just a safe place for me. I had wonderful friends. I learned so much discipline and hard work, and it truly made a huge world of difference. But it had its ups and downs. I have to be honest. I went into college. I had the opportunity to run in college. And to be honest with you, it was not the experience I was hoping it would be. From my senior year of high school, to my freshman year of college, I actually ended up gaining 20 pounds. And it wasn't, I'll be honest, I was a little confused why. I was working really hard. I came into college running, I think 40 miles a week at that point. I worked really hard all summer. I was eating salad or, whatever all the other girls were eating to try to be healthy. And it just wasn't working for me. I was overtraining. I thought for me to be fast, I had to run with a top pack so I could hopefully get that top 7 spot. So I wasn't listening to my coach and doing the paces I was supposed to do. And it just turned into a huge disaster. I had horrible sleep apnea. I could not sleep before races, the whole week before races. And so I was never rested enough to race well. I was constantly stressed about my workouts, about racing, about getting in all the right things, about food. And honestly, it just kind of turned in this huge whirlwind. I ended up going and talking to the counselor at my school and found out I had an eating disorder called EDNOS, which is eating disorder not otherwise specified. So that's not bulimia or anorexia, but it's basically you have this poor vision of yourself and your relationship with food. I had a very, very unhealthy relationship with all of these things. And it was just very, very bad. But over time, I kind of just left college feeling very frustrated. Why have I put in all this work and I'm doing all the right things, but things are just really not working well for me? So I kind of left determined to be a new kind of runner. I knew that there was a better way. I've seen athletes progress minutes off their 5K times and seconds off their 800 paces. I want to do that too. I was sick of just being stuck and feeling overweight and not confident in my skin and stressed. I knew there was a better way because I've seen other runners be able to do that. So after a lot of research, learning and researching, I really figured out that there's a way to train smarter instead of harder. That when we are struggling as runners, it doesn't always make sense to add more. It makes sense to do our workouts smarter. It also makes sense for us to run our proper training paces. Time and time again, when I see athletes come into my programs, they're running at paces that just simply don't make sense for what their PRs are. And that is causing overtraining. Stress on our body can mess up our thyroid and can really cause a lot of harm, which is what I was doing to my body. I also learned that I was using food as a comfort source. And when I would be able to mentally see it as a fuel source to help fuel my workouts, that mental shift made a huge difference for me. And then I learned about the importance of timing workouts. And all of this came through my process of researching and digging into carb cycling, which is what we're going to dig into together here as well. I have super loved being able to do carb cycling with some amazing athletes this year. I got to work with over 100 athletes in various things through either my VIP training, where I actually do a custom training program for a specific race, as you'll see some of these girls here training for halves and full marathons, and also through my Carb Cycling for Runners bootcamp. So that's kind of a 3-week intensive bootcamp where we have a meal plan, we are macro tracking, and I am really teaching you what it looks like to carb cycle so you can implement this strategy on your own. And you'll see that all of these ladies who I got to work with this year are running PRs, are eating healthier than ever, are feeling strong and awesome. And it is truly something that has been just a life change for so many women, which is why I love putting on these workshops. I love doing the Run Academy so you can learn and understand how it works and you can implement it and see those same exact amazing results. So what is carb cycling? I mean, this seems like some kind of crazy fad diet. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of thought that's what carb cycling was at first. I remember seeing people posting about it on social media and thinking, oh no, is this another one of those crazy things that people are going to start doing? And I totally wrote it off. But after time, and I kept seeing it over and over again, I decided to look to my trusty friend Google and start reading about it. And I found some really interesting blogs about it. I was reading and understanding, and I actually saw a run coach who I really liked and trusted was sharing about how valuable this lifestyle can be for runners. The basic gist of carb cycling is that it's timing your nutrition. So as you know, as a runner, we don't do the same workouts every day. One day we have an easy run with strides, we might have a tempo run one day, a long run, or a race. So if our workouts are always looking different, shouldn't our nutrition look different for each day? So it clicked, and definitely it was making sense to me. So it's all about knowing the food that you're putting in your body. Carb cycling definitely takes a focus on the macro approach. So those are macronutrients. For those of you who are unfamiliar what macros are, it means all of our foods are made up of carbs, proteins, and fats. So you kind of get a chance to dig into and look at what your food's made of, not to obsess about it, but to understand what your body needs at certain times during certain periods of the day and during certain workouts. So that is the gist of knowing your food and understanding it, which is kind of the preface of carb cycling, which made a lot of sense to me after I started thinking more about it. Something I've heard a lot with the carb cycling is, or in regards to eating healthy, is that eating healthy is going to be super hard. It's going to take so much time, and I just can't afford it, or it's just not really worth it to me. I prefer to just kind of stay in my comfort zone and not pay more for groceries and stay in with the foods I'm eating. It's too much to worry about. I got a lot going on, right? We got jobs. I don't have time to buy all these more expensive, or money to buy all these more expensive groceries, or time to cook all these extravagant meals. And I can assure you that carb cycling is not that at all. It's about timing our nutrition. It's about making healthy habits that you can implement long-term. So all the meals on my 21-day meal plan for my athletes take 30 minutes on average. Nothing is over 40 minutes to make. Very simple, straightforward meals with whole food ingredients. Absolutely fantastic. My runners love them so much, and they are definitely not something that is going to be overwhelming. At the end of the day, the main thing it really teaches you is just that self-control piece. And it's going to really teach you that healthy food mindset. When you learn to understand food instead of obsessing over it, and seeing that, man, I understand what food is made of now. And when I see it as my fuel source and as my friend, not my enemy, it really just brings a lot more healthy balance with your food. So I thought for you guys, something that would be really helpful is to kind of give you a snapshot of what it looks like to carb cycle a bit. I'm going to dig into the low carb day. The low carb day is typically what I have my runners start on during the week. And then we go into a feast day and then a fast day. And I won't talk too much about the feast day, as we shared a lot about that on my Run Academy page. So if you're still wanting information about that, you can definitely email me at info@coachjasmine.com and join that Run Academy so you can see the feast day. But I want to dive into that low carb day a little bit. Why would a runner ever do a low carb day? We need carbs as fuel, right? Well, yes, but research has proven time and time again that low carb diets are one of the best ways to burn fat. When your body is low on carbs, it needs to find something else as a fuel source. So it resorts to fat, burns the fat, which makes you a leaner runner. However, long term, it does not make sense for a runner to be on a low carb diet. It can mess up the adrenal glands. It can cause overtraining, because when you're continually burning the fat, eventually there's going to be none left, or you'll be too lean, and you just won't have the energy to fully train to your full potential. So these periodic low carb days, and I do want to preface, I don't want you just trying this on a whim. This is definitely a very methodical formula that I teach my runners. So I definitely would consider either reading a book, which I'm going to share about at the end, or joining one of my programs so you can understand the thought process behind and the proper timing of the low carb day. But again, very beneficial for runners, specifically beneficial for you runners who are doing half and full marathons, because as many of you may know, your body is going to run out of carbs when you're doing your race. Your body can only store about 2 hours worth of carbs. So if any of you run your half marathon over 2 hours, and I think most of you run your full marathon over 2 hours, you're going to run out of energy if you don't have a good fueling strategy. So when you take time during your training to teach your body to burn fat, then you basically have another storage tank of fuel that you can focus on, which is really, really helpful. So here, I'm going to walk you through what it looks like to do a low carb day for runners. Typically, my runner's low carb day is paired with an easy run, very low intensity cardio, heart rate around 130 max and not very long, somewhere around 30 minutes, paired with some stride. So that's going to be some high intensity for a short period of time, which is going to facilitate that fat burn and help deplete the carb stores. And I also occasionally have my girls do push-ups or my 5-minute core routine along with the low carb day. So here's a good example of a great breakfast on low carb day. Basically for me, I take some protein, which is eggs, and I like to do a turkey bacon and load it with vegetables. There are vegetables that are low in carbs, which you'll see here, the Brussels sprouts, onions, peppers, and you can even top it with a little bit of avocado, salsa, or some hot sauce. Very flavorful and delicious and a fueling breakfast. One of my favorite low carb lunches is just having a massive salad. Now, I do want to preface, anyone in here not love salad? I would love to hear on me if you're like, oh my gosh, Jasmine, salad is the worst. I do not like it. Because that was me. I really did not love salad for many years. I forced myself to eat it through college because I knew I needed to have it to be healthier. But there's something about carb cycling and the mindset switch that happened when I did this process during originally I joined a boot camp doing it back in January, but then implementing it long-term, I crave salad every day. And I can assure you it was not always that way. So my typical low carb lunch is a big, massive salad. I put some protein on top, either the steak that you see here or some tuna or chicken. Sometimes I even mix in a little mayonnaise or avocado to make kind of like a creamy dressing, and I top on tons of veggies, lots of greens and kale, broccoli, cauliflower, all those low carb vegetables, and it just rocks my world. It keeps me fueled during the day, and I love it. Now, I don't know if any of you are like me, though. At about that 2-3 o'clock, I start to hit that snack zone. It's not quite dinner time, but I need something to hold me over before dinner happens. You'll notice with this plan that it's all about abundance. We eat a lot of food. Some of you runners might have think that you need to be on a calorie deficit and eat 12,000 calories a day, and that's just not the case here with carb cycling. You're eating really good, high quality food, and you feel awesome. You'll see here I've got a few low carb snacks that I like to share with my runners. A lot of my runners, pretty much all my runners, are on a really clean protein powder. I have most of my runners suggested on doing Shakeology. There are a few different varieties, but in my opinion, the best refuel for a runner post-workout is Shakeology, as the carb to protein ratio is perfect after your workout, and all the nutrients that it replenishes you with are ideal for helping you to have a healthy gut, have really good probiotics and fiber, and just to be really fueled after your runs. So I'm all about the Shakeology for my runners. I also love some turkey jerky or some peppers. I also like to do hard-boiled eggs with salsa, real basic, easy snacks that are higher in protein, and I'll have some fat as well that are going to help keep me full and sustained until it's dinner time. This is one of my favorite low-carb dinners. I used to be a pasta freak. I know many of you probably had pasta parties in high school if you were a runner, or maybe even college, and pasta was where it's at. I am a carb lover, and I would love it if there's any other carb lovers in the house to share with me, but man, cutting out bread has been hard for me, or it was hard for me, but learning these really great substitutions has been a huge game changer. And I love this low carb dinner. It is zoodles with turkey meatballs, and it's basically healthy spaghetti that tastes so much better and makes you feel amazing. I've got one of those awesome zoodlers that you can find on Amazon, and I make these zoodles. You can fry them in the pan for a little bit, or you can just leave them raw. They're so good, super simple, so much better than boiling a pot of noodles. Then I make some really yummy turkey meatballs with a little bit of gluten-free breadcrumbs, some onions, some Italian seasoning, some peppers. Roll them up with a really good organic pasta sauce. You can make your own with some tomatoes on the stove, and it just rocks my world. I hope that you can see through these different meal options that, again, we're all about abundance with carb cycling. We're eating really good, high quality food. So as I mentioned, the methodical theory of going from the low carb to feast to fast is we're going to really work on boosting the metabolism and becoming stronger and healthier as a runner. So though we did deplete the carbs on a low carb day, we're going to move into that fast day where we're all about the carbs and all about the high calories. Then we're going to move into that fast day. So I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. Okay, you're just talking about eating all this food and then you're going to tell me to fast? How does that make sense? Anyone else kind of feel that way? How can you fast as a runner when I'm supposed to be doing all these miles and eating all this food? It just truly does not make sense. Well, I hope to break down some of those barriers for you and chat about that with you today. So I do want to kind of preface that question with a question. Do you, as a runner, find yourself resonating with any of these struggles? You know, do you find yourself stressed out a lot? Are you a runner who retains body fat? Do you find yourselves eating junk food? You'll see a couple numbers I have here. I'd love for you to share maybe which one of these is one of your big struggles as a runner. I can honestly say all of them have been mine. I have struggled in many areas as a runner, but would love to hear from you. Which one of these is your struggle? And it could be a combination of all, honestly. We all face so many different issues as a runner. Yep, we've got some 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, retaining body fat. Yeah, that is hard as a runner for sure. That was my biggest struggle. I knew if I could just get 5 pounds lighter, I would run PRs. I was just so close to getting to that goals, but I just could not break past those barriers. Number 1, awesome. And even, yeah, I love that you vary, Jessica. It's a little bit of everything at certain times in our running. So I want to let you know that when you implement this fasting piece, you're definitely going to see a huge difference. Awesome. Yes. Retaining weight and craving carbs. Yes. And I definitely want to show you how that fasting piece is going to break down those barriers. As you can see here, here's me being all zen on my front porch. Wednesday has become one of my favorite days of the week as it's my fasting day. So right now I am fasting on my water here. And I can tell you there's been a huge amount of benefits. First off, our bodies are only focused on doing 2 things at a time. They're either digesting food or repairing cells. So yesterday I had a super hard workout. It was really hot. I was lifting. It was super intense and my body is tired. So it's time for it to repair. Yes, I do get some time to repair in my sleep, but let's say I don't sleep well. Is there a way I could maximize the amount of repair I get? And we can do it by fasting. When we take out the element of food and digesting, diverting the focus to the gut, we can then divert the focus to the muscles and help it repair. Also definitely helps facilitate that fat burn as the carb stores are low and our body needs something as fuel. So it's going to resort to our fat, our stored body fat. Now, on these days, if you choose to work out, I typically have my runners take the day totally off, or I let them do some yoga, as I like to do, as you can see in the picture, some low intensity cardio. Occasionally I let my runners do an easy run, but something like an elliptical or an easy bike ride or a walk, just something that's going to bring you a lot of relaxation, which is meant for the fast day. So fasting is more than just, burning fat and losing weight. It's all about the mental clarity that you get and the self-control that comes when you start practicing this habit. Imagine if you had extra time in the day to do something that maybe you don't get to do a lot. Do you like to read or write or go for a walk? But your life is just crazy, right? You don't have time for that. Implementing a day of fasting is really going to help you to practice that self-care and make that change for you. Like I said, Wednesdays is my favorite day of the week. This morning I got up and did yoga, which is very enjoyable for me. I'm able to spend more time in prayer because my workout is not nearly as long. Something about the fasting and not having that extra time during the day to prep food for myself just allows me to be others focused. I'm able to spend more quality time with my daughter, go on a walk with her, get more things done that I would normally do, use the time for cooking. And it's honestly just fantastic. I love that question from Jessica. Will this work for a system like a couch to 5K? Absolutely. This is super effective for 5K runners. You'll see me mention here, I have an athlete who improved 3 minutes in her 5K by doing this carb cycling program. So definitely stay tuned, Jessica. This is very, very effective for them. That fasting pace is definitely going to help you to get leaner and stronger and prepare you for that 5K. So just as a quick recap for you guys, carb cycling is going to do so much for you as a runner. It's, yes, going to help with that fat burn, which we all want. We all want to be leaner, but ultimately there's so many more non-scale victories that come. It's going to help you push past those plateaus, give you that variety you want, and give you this awesome relationship with food. Like I said, we're all about the abundance. And as a runner, you shouldn't feel like you have to restrict yourself. And you definitely do not have to do that when you are carb cycling. It's going to help you to have that confidence in yourself when you know that you're just a little bit leaner and you're able to do something that maybe challenges you a little bit, but is definitely maintainable. Helps you think, man, if I can do this and do this lifestyle long term, what other things can I do? It's also going to do so good at teaching you the self-care piece. I am a chocoholic. I love my ice cream and donuts, and I will admit I definitely still eat them, but I just have a better sense of balance with them. Me and my husband typically enjoy some donuts and ice cream once a week, and occasionally after dinner we'll have some peanut butter and chocolate chips, and we've learned to make healthier treats, but there's so much more self-control. I used to think that when I was sad or stressed that food would give me comfort, but I just don't feel that way anymore. I've learned to use the yoga as some stress relief or some prayer time or journaling. I've resorted to things that are going to bring that fulfillment long-term versus food. That's just going to make me feel bad. So carb cycling is going to bring that for you. I am sure of it. 7 months ago was a different runner, and this has truly just transformed the way that I think about food. And don't just take it from me, take it from some of the awesome athletes I've gotten to work with. Jess, as I was mentioning before, this is Casey, who I've gotten to work with pretty long term. She had her second baby, and I was getting her ready to run a 5K. She was a volleyball player in college, great athlete, but never a runner, hated running. And she just loves that through this program of training hard and teaching her body to run more efficiently. She recognized that when she has a disciplined workout plan and having that self-awareness of what she puts in your body, she's made a huge difference. She's cut 3 minutes off her PR. She's healthier and stronger than ever. She looks fantastic, and she just is wonderful. She's happier, she's healthier, which is ultimately what matters. You can kind of see some of the comments from the other girls on here who just did my last carb cycling boot camp, and you'll see that they are just having so many big wins. They're able to sleep better. Love Jen. She's done a couple rounds now. Karen says that her hairdresser says that her hair's more fuller. That is amazing. Libby ran a PR in one of her easy runs, which is awesome because she's just feeling so much stronger. You'll see it cut off at the bottom, but Grace actually in the 3-week program PR'd in her 5K by 45 seconds, which is amazing. So huge wins. Swimsuits are fitting. Even people who thought they were healthy eaters were just more disciplined at reading labels and learning about their food, and just have a better understanding of what they're consuming, and just loved that this program was so learning focused and not food obsessed focused. So my question for you is, why did you show up today? I'm not sure why you're here. Is it because you're tired of feeling poorly on your runs and just not enjoying the sport of running? Do you need that variety in your nutrition and running routine? Are you sick of feeling like you're not in control? Like you just need food as comfort? Or do you just know that if you were a little bit leaner, you could run faster? Do you want to be at the ideal body mass so you can run at your ideal peak performance? If any of these sounds like you, I definitely know that I have a perfect solution to help you out. And it is to join my Carb Cycling for Runners 3-week boot camp. This boot camp has transformed lives like no other. Like I said, I've gotten to work with 100 different runners, and it has truly been amazing to see the growth that they have made through this program. Awesome. I have a testimonial from one of my girls on here. She says she's doing the boot camp now and she loves her fast day. She's so focused on food all the time and she loves taking a break. So I love that you shared that. Oh, I love all the yeses. So much fun. Love hearing you guys all excited about carb cycling. Got a couple people on here who are all about carb cycling and totally agree with it. A couple clients. Even my husband's on here as a testimonial that it's amazing and maintainable long-term. So let me show you a little bit what the program looks like for you as a runner. Each day, you're going to get some of these workouts sent to you. Hey, Chrissy, so good to see you on here. I was wondering who that Mac user is. Chrissy is a sweetheart. Love working with her, Chrissy, and she's loving her fast day today. So let me just kind of show you a snapshot of what you get through this carb cycling program. We do have that 21-day carb cycling plan. But along with that, I'm using my run coaching skills to give you workouts that pair perfectly with your nutrition. So each day you're going to get to log into the portal and you're going to get these awesome workouts that's going to tell you exactly what to do, along with video demos, so you know what exercises to do and how to do them and why to do them. As you'll see, I've explained here for each of my athletes. You're also going to get that customized support. As you can see here, we have a group page community, which is my favorite part of the program. Community is so important when you're trying to hit goals, and we have an amazing community in this Carb Cycling Bootcamp. As you can see here, Ashley, here's an example. Every day I have my girls post their macro screenshots so we can learn and understand food. Ashley has done my program a couple of rounds now, and she is the master of the low carb day. Her macros are always on point. So we just do a really great job of encouraging each other, and Ashley's always sharing her meals and giving us some new inspiration to spur us on to keep doing this lifestyle long term. You can also see that we do a good job of helping each other out. You'll see Emily over here said she's had a rough day and she was having a few struggles with her eating, and all the girls are on top of it right away, just giving her some support and giving her ideas and sharing in that struggle of trying to learn and understand carb cycling. And it's just so much fun to see these girls supporting each other and just having this camaraderie of doing this lifestyle long term. So huge, huge help. You're going to not only get an awesome carb cycling meal plan with recipes for every day, you're also going to get that support where I'm going to go on and comment and give you suggestions along with the other girls encouraging you. And there's the live viewer bonus. I know some of you are hanging out for a while to see, well, what's the incentive? How can I maybe jump on this and get some really awesome stuff? Well, let me tell you what you're going to get for hanging out here, friends. I've got some really awesome video or some extra goodies for you. I'm going to let you friends save your spot for only $20. You can pay the rest of the bootcamp on a payment plan that works on your schedule. You're also going to get the bootcamp at $20 off. So this is a $147 bootcamp or $167 bootcamp that you're getting for $147. This bootcamp will change your life. You're going to have this meal plan and workout plan forever. So the price is so affordable for all that you're getting. It's literally going to transform your life. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. Girls who leave this program leave better, happier, more confident people. And this little small payment that you're going to put down right now is going to help you so much moving forward. It truly is going to change the way you think about food, the way you work out. You're going to learn how to train smarter on your time schedule, do workouts that you enjoy, have variety, get leaner. That's worth it for $147 to have this long term. Also, I'm going to throw in a free carb cycling book. You might remember me mentioning earlier that I read some really helpful articles, and the main book I follow is The All-Day Fat Burning Diet by Yuri Alkane. He is an amazing nutritionist, and I use all of his resources for the program. And I'm going to send you the book for free. It's a $20 hardcover book. I actually have it right here. I love this book. And it's going to tell you all the why behind the what of your training. It's going to explain the elements of fasting. It's going to give you really good food ideas. The meal plan is even inside the book, so you have it hardcover forever. And you're going to get it for free just because I want you to know the why behind the what. This is a learning program so you can understand things long term. And I want you to have a really helpful resource that you can look back on and know how to implement this lifestyle. So if you are definitely wanting to hop in the offer, I definitely want you to hop on it ASAP. This bootcamp fills up very fast. And I want you to take advantage of this super duper special. So if this is going to be available for 48 hours only, and then I will close the cart on the lower price and I will move the price back up, and there will be no book. So make sure you hop on it now if you want it so you can get those free options. That's like another $50 free just for you. How do I sign up with this deal? I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to walk you through it right now, Jessica. Perfect. So you'll see on here, if you go to coachjasmine.com/carbcycling, you're going to bring up with this page here. It's going to explain the program a little bit, but you're going to then scroll to the bottom and you're going to see this beautiful little bonus. It's going to say the Run Academy 48-hour bonus. You're going to put your name and email, and you're going to put your address in so I can send the book to you. I promise I won't send you spam or anything like that. You're going to submit the form there. And then you're going to, after you submit the form, you're going to click Save My Spot. That's going to refer you to a PayPal link where you can pay for the program. If you want to pay for it with the $20 down, just go ahead and email me at info@coachjasmine.com. The Save My Spot button will let you pay in full. I know some of you just like to take care of it, said and done, so you don't have to worry about it later. That button will click, you can pay in full. Know that you get the book. We'll make sure you get the book before the group starts, which is why I want to get this into you ASAP, and which is why there's a 48-hour timeline on that. So you can get the book before the program starts and start reading and understanding. So you'll save your spot, put in your address, and I'll get everything sent to you. And you will join this super duper awesome boot camp. Is there any last minute questions that you ladies have about the book, about the program? Do you want to answer one more question I see in here? It says, how does the whole week go if you have a low carb feast fast when it's a 7-day week? So we do, Lisa, we do low carb feast fast, regular calorie, low calorie day. And we repeat that over 21 days. And I give you exactly what that looks like for each day with the meal plan, with the workout. So we follow technically a 5-day cycle. So through the process, you will be your weekday will look different each time. But then I will show you after the program how to implement it long-term and do a 7-day cycle. It's been so awesome to see your guys' comments on here and your engagement. I know that I have been in a similar struggle with my running and just feeling frustrated. And I want you ladies to help push that past that plateau and just become leaner and stronger. And I assure you, this program will do it. This program has changed lives, and I would love to work with you and do that as well. So if, again, that sounds like something you want to do, go to coachjasmine.com/carb cycling, and we will get you all set up to do a program that is literally life transforming.